How many of you have ever seen the movie The Matrix? All right, so maybe more than half of us. All right, for those who haven't seen the movie The Matrix, there's a scene in the very beginning of the film where the main character is presented with two pills, one blue and one red, and he has to make a choice. If he chooses the blue pill, he'll fall asleep, and when he wakes up, everything will be exactly the way it's always been. If he chooses the red pill, he'll finally learn the truth. And I'm here today to give you that red pill. But let me make this very clear to you. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to tell you how to think, how to feel, and I'm certainly not here to tell you what to eat. I'm simply here to provide you with information. Now, what you do with that information is solely up to you. So, what does the matrix look like? Let me show you. Now, despite what you might be thinking, these two circles are not equal. I repeat, these two circles are not equal. One is in fact larger than the other. What I need you to do is determine which one that is. So, please raise your hand if you believe the blue circle is larger than the red. All right. Please raise your hand if you believe the red circle is larger than the blue. All right, very good. Now, before I said anything about these two circles, what was your first instinct? Equal, right? Because they look equal. And the reason why they look equal is because, in fact, they are equal. These two circles are identical. Yet I got just about every one of you to raise your hand and say that they're not. So what do we learn? That you can be manipulated like that to believe in something that goes against your natural instincts. Just imagine as a child you're taught that the blue circle is larger than the red. If you say it enough times, you convince yourself that's the truth. If you're told the lie enough times, it becomes part of your reality. And if enough people are taught that lie, that the blue circle is larger than the red, well, now it becomes part of the culture. And if that culture then passes that misinformation along to the next generation, well, now it becomes tradition.
I'll answer the question. You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Hey guys, this is Greg. The clip you just watched, that is probably the best example that I've ever seen or heard. That would actually describe the way I look at the world from the beginning. But it also explains the zombie masses as well. And when he starts talking about, I mean, is it not funny that there's nothing different about them? Although there really is. But there's nothing different. Yet he gets people to believe and raising hands. Yes, I see it, I see it, I see it. Well, my perspective, when I saw this clip, he said these are not equal. My thought was, of course they're not equal. One's red, one's blue. Then he starts talking about size. I didn't see any difference in size. I saw them not being equal in red or blue. But I also took it as a life lesson. Of course they're not equal. But the authority's not saying that they're not equal because they're red and blue. They're telling you they're not equal in size. And you believe that shit. Not you. Not me. They do. But this has been the best. God, this has been the best example I've ever seen of what could describe the way I've been all my life. I mean, since I was a kid. I can go all the way back to Carter giving the Panama Canal away. You know, that shit didn't make sense to me. That's like buying your neighbor a big fleet of tractor trailers. You get some of the small proceeds off of them. Now, you bought all this shit. You barely get anything out of it. And a few years later, you just sign all the titles over to him. What kind of sense does that make? I didn't think that made a lick of damn sense then. So, and I was a kid. that's just one example. You know, I've been this way all my life. I've said this several times. I used to get in trouble in school, in high school, the 11th grade especially. Government and econ. Miss Pettigrew used to send me to the principal's office all the time because I would ask her why. And the reason I asked why is because I had taken civics in the 9th grade, paid attention, knew how the shit worked, and she's teaching contradiction. So I wanted to know why she was saying it that way. And of course she thinks I'm just being a class clown or a smartass, and she sends me to the principal's office. But Mr. McGimpsey, that was our principal's name, Mr. Mac, he knew what was going on. He didn't care. You know, it's just like, go on back, I'll tell her that I got on to you kind of thing. So it didn't matter. He was kind of a cool principal. He wasn't like what you know, that crazy high school principal that's you know, like the hypnotist. But you know, that's just okay. Let me ask you something. After watching that clip, now think to yourself, if you tell somebody that you've never met, or even people you know, if you tell them a subtle lie versus the truth, and you ask them which way it is, they're going to automatically believe that lie. For some reason, people are designed to believe the lie. I don't know why that is. Maybe that people today have become so dependent on the system that they need that direction, that guidance. They can't live their own life without somebody telling them how to live it, or telling them what's what. They don't know how to use their own damn eyes and brain, and it doesn't make sense to me. I used to think there was something wrong with me because I saw things differently than other people see it, but now I think there's something right with me. You know, whether it's some kind of neural connection or something in my brain, I don't know. I don't see things the way other people do. I never have. It's always made me an outcast too. I'm the black sheep. I mean, you start going into a family dinner talking about they didn't land on the fucking moon, and you're the damn eccentric uncle, you're the lunatic of the family, you are the freak. Nobody wants to talk to you because they don't want to hear that shit. They want to believe in their little cognitive dissonance world, you know. So you're out of your damn mind. They believe the lie because it came from on high. You know, even though there's all kind of crazy ass evidence that points to the fact that this is the stupidest damn lie you've ever heard in your life, to think that we can build spacesuits that can go through this intense, dangerous gamma radiation, but we can't put those spacesuits on and go fix Fukushima. That is ridiculous. I'm sorry. Just fucking ridiculous. Insane. I swear that I'm sane and the rest of the world is insane. So, but think about this. I mean, really, think about this. Consider the fact that Hell, even go out and try it. Do some experimenting with it. You can tell somebody a subtle lie and they'll believe it. People believe that shit. I mean, they'll believe the lie first. That's ingrained in them. I don't know why. I didn't live 100 years ago before the Industrial Revolution. I don't know what people were like then. I imagine they weren't quite as trusting. I don't know. And as Matt would say at Quantum of Conscious, this is just all part of the script. I don't know why we can't follow the script, why we're off the page. I don't know why we are, but we are. And I've said this before, I think that, and I like using the word aware now. A commenter used that word, and I really like that. That seems to fit a little more. And Matt told me once that it didn't have quite the stigmatism that being awake does. So aware is a really good word. Those that are going to become aware, I think we've already reached that point. I think I've said something about, I think we're at the top of the bell curve, and it's just not going to happen anymore. Maybe one or two will stumble, but as far as the majority, I think that's pretty much done, because we're getting so much blowback, so much resistance now. YouTube is censoring the shit out of people. I'm a little bitty channel, so I can do what I want to. They don't bother with me. But anyway, one other thing I want to tell you about. Listen, guys, when you go to a restaurant, this happened to me about a year and a half ago. It was still cold, so I wasn't feeling well, and I took my son and daughter out to eat. Okay, and we know how I've told you, I don't believe in coincidence. I believe things happen. There's no such thing as coincidence. And we went out to eat. I didn't feel well. I didn't even touch my meal. But I got a to-go box. Now, I was thinking about this the other day, and I meant to mention it earlier, but my mind, the way it works, I forget shit, and then it'll come back to me. But that night, I got them to put my entire meal in a to-go box. And when we got out to the parking lot, there was a young man out there, too damn young to be homeless, but unfortunately he was. And he was trying to collect enough money to get a cheap motel room because it was really cold that night. And he had asked the other people in the parking lot, and they said no, and they said no, and he got to me. I talked to him a little bit, find out the situation, and it wasn't good. I mean, I felt for this young man. So I reached in my pocket, gave him $40 to cover the room costs, at least hopefully. But I had that dinner. And I talked to him about, had he eaten, and he said he had like, all he could eat was like potato chips and things like that out of machines. So I gave him my whole meal. I've done that ever since. If I don't eat all my meal, if I go out to eat and I don't eat all my meal, I get a to-go box just in case I run into somebody like him in the parking lot. And I always try to keep at least a 20 on me in case. Because look, there are people that really need help. Yes, they're con men, they're scam artists. This kid had nothing but a backpack on his back, He had a toboggan on, and his jacket really wasn't all that thick. He really needed a thicker jacket. And, after we left, I thought, I should have got him in the car and took him to Walmart and got him a jacket and gloves and things like that. Look, I'm the type of person, I'm very empathetic to people. I want to help. And there are people that need it. Now, if he was scamming me, that's between him and Christian point of view. That's between him and God. But realistic point of view, that's between him and karma. Because karma is real. It comes back to bite you. So I'm not taking the chance he is. But I think that too many people pass up too many opportunities to add tokens, like Matt says, to their life, and because they're so afraid that they're getting scammed. Today $20 is not a lot of money. If you can afford a 20, give the guy 20. If you can afford 40, give him 40. That's not a lot of money today. But if it helps somebody sleep in a warm place that night, then what's the harm? Yes, he might go out and buy a dime bag or quarter bag or whatever the hell they buy today. I don't know. He might go buy a handful of crack rocks. I don't know. But that's not on me. That's on him. I can't walk past somebody in need and not help them. Okay, with that part said, anyway, try the exercise. Try to go and tell this crazy ass lie and see if you can get people to believe it. I guarantee you they'll believe it. Make up some crazy ass shit. The crazier the better. They'll believe it. I mean, for real. And once you realize that people are built to receive the deception, then you'll start to understand that why in the hell wouldn't these dark forces deceive everybody? Because they're built for it. Why wouldn't they do it? Why wouldn't the Rothschilds do what they do? Why wouldn't J.P. Morgan have done what he did? Why wouldn't Woodrow Wilson have set up the Federal Reserve? Jekyll Island. Why wouldn't they do it? I mean, hell, they're taking advantage. They're like us. They see the difference. They know that people are easily deceived, except they don't have a soul like we do. They don't have that empathy. They're apathy. They're the damn extreme of that shit. And it's not about money. It's about pleasing their vampiric type soul the way they are, to feed off of that energy. So, okay guys, just try an exercise like that. Make up some crazy ass lie and see if it works. And then once you see that works, you'll realize that no wonder the world is deceived. Okay, I don't know if I'll be putting anything else out this in a couple of days. I'm going to try to spend some time with my beacon of light. Look, I don't know if it's Matrix. I don't know. I know we live in some type of construct, but whatever created this place, and to me that would be God, I believe we were talking about, Matt and I were talking about the architect talking to Neo the last time. And remember, he had a choice to make. Either save Trinity or the other choice. So, but the architect told Neo that this time he had been programmed with love. They wanted to see how that reaction was. Now consider the original fall. Okay, the architect is supposed to be God. Neo's supposed to be Adam. And Trinity would be Eve. And Neo made the wrong choice compared to what God would have expected him to, which affected Zion, as you can see. So, but the thing is, what I think is, maybe we've been programmed with love. You know, because to me, God is love. So, we all have both good and evil in us. It's our choice of which way we go. And I believe that God puts just a few special people, you know, that are meant to be with you, that are like the second half of you. Not to be Jerry Maguire, but you complete me kind of thing. You know, and I've found one. She is this beautiful, gorgeous angel. Sometimes I don't even know if she's real or not. She just lights me up. I think that there are only so many people. I wish to God I could have met her 20 or 30 years ago. She's so special. And I've been out with other women since Angela. But this one is, she is very special. I mean, I think God sent her my way. Or, you know, I don't believe in coincidences. So, I'm hoping that maybe we're, I mean, I already know that we're meant for each other. I just know. When you know, that's what they always say, right? So Tammy, I love you, sweetheart. You are so much, oh God, you are so sweet to me. You just bring it all out. So, anyway, sharing that part. Just want to say hello to my beacon of light. Alright, guys, just try that experiment. And also on the clip, just see how it works. I mean, and understand. I mean, look at it, analyze it, because that is the simplest and yet the most complicated way I've ever seen to explain exactly who we are versus who they are. I mean, it's just enlightenment, you know. Hell, that's better than Confucius shit. So, alright guys, if I don't get another video out this weekend, have a good weekend. Enjoy yourself. Please be good to everyone else. Take care, guys.